Lord Marco Pitruzzella, Lord of the Blast. How you doing, man?
What's up? I'm doing well, man. How are you doing, Matt?
I can't complain, dude. It sounds like you got a lot of cool stuff going on, dude. 6 Feet Under's got a new album out. You guys going to go on tour. It's been a while. Tell us all about that, dude. Like, what was that whole recording the album like? And then how does it feel to be hitting the road like that again?
Oh, hell yeah, man. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm super excited that basically Jack Owen, is just continuing. Like, he's basically constantly writing songs. And I know for a fact the dude probably has like 100 songs already written, so at his disposal, so for me it's pretty fucking awesome to just be involved in something like that where there's just a lot of material that can be sent my way to check out and stuff. And I know pretty much like with that album, basically like Jack comes up with kind of like the whole song, like all the songs, even like he does like basic drum programming too and stuff, and he'll kind of send ideas to Chris, and then Chris will approve them, and then basically then it gets to me and to me and Ray and Jeff, and then we can like do our own parts and do our own thing to them all. So I mean, yeah, it's just fucking awesome to be involved with a group that's basically, like, I know Chris even wants to put out another album basically I want to say early next year, like he already wants to have another album out. So yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome. And I'm so glad when Chris told us that we were going to do a US tour. I didn't believe it at first, to be honest. Because even like in the last couple of years, man, after the whole COVID shit, it's like we had tours like lined up and everything. And we even had, I mean, I don't know. It's like we even had something in South America planned, and like we always do the European Germany thing, like every 6 months basically. So it was like a real bummer to have all that shit canceled, And then that's why when Chris told us about the U.S. tour, I mean, I was like, dude, I was like fucking so stoked, man. And I mean, it's super long. I mean, off the top of my head, I'm not too sure. I want to say it's like 6 weeks or something, I think. Yeah, so it's like a real actual tour. I haven't done a tour that long in a long time either. So, like for me, I'm just like, I'm super excited for that, man. Yeah.
Awesome, dude. And like, I have to say, your guys' new album kicks ass. It sounds great. Obviously, the vocals sound fucking fantastic. The writing's, I think, in my opinion, more aggressive. And it sounds great too. And when you were tracking your drums for that album, how long did it take you to track all those songs? I mean, because with your skill set, dude, like how long does it take you to hammer that out?
I know. I know. Well, yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, I don't actually remember when Jack first sent me, his like drafts basically. But I remember like the very first one he sent me, I was very excited because it reminded me, of just like kind of like almost like the early, 90s vibe of death metal. And it was super refreshing to hear, compared to the previous album that was more of like almost like rock and roll. It was like a rock and gore. There we go. Something like gore and roll or something. Yeah, that one was like more rock or something, right? So I was excited that the newer album's definitely a lot more like thrashier, and there's honestly a lot of blast beats in it. There's some couple of songs. I mean, I'm playing pretty fucking fast in it, to be honest. I even threw in a super fast 300 BPM blast at the end of one of the tracks. But yeah, man, for me just to record them, I heard like all the drafts, and then pretty much what I do is I'll listen to them like a few times. I never like in the past I used to like listen to a song over and over and over to like really memorize it, but nowadays I basically listen to it a couple times, and then I just record at my house here. So when I record, I'm just like basically on the spot recording, like riff to riff. And that way everything's just going to be super solid. There's like no editing involved though or anything like that. It's just like the real takes, but basically it's kind of like whatever I'm feeling on the spot is like the type of drum fills I'll do, and stuff like that. So So I mean, pretty much to record the whole album, though. I want to say, I mean, really, it took me like a day or 2 days, basically. So
That's
yeah, I
awesome.
mean, like honestly, not too long, you know.
Well, no, and like, dude, that's really cool that you're doing it at home. You got everything you need right
Yeah,
there. You don't have to go anywhere to do it. And I'm a big fan of like, that initial spark of creativity. Like, how does it
yeah,
resonate with you? You know what I mean? And so, I mean, there's good things happen
yeah,
when people work on stuff, but like, especially
yeah,
like in a band like 6 Feet Under, where, it's definitely a feel thing. And I'd say like the last time, like you had
yeah,
mentioned, it was like more like a death and roll album, where this
yeah.
is like a straight up death metal album. The artwork says so too. Like,
Right, right, right.
Vincent Locke did the artwork, so yeah, it's killer, man. It sounds great.
Yeah, actually, and about the artwork too. I mean, I remember when Chris showed it, like he texted me and he's like, this is the artwork, and I was like, holy shit. I mean, honestly, I was like, finally, bro, like it's so sick. And actually, something about the artwork too. On the album before this one, we did actually have a different album cover, but it wasn't approved. You know, basically Sony or whoever the distribution literally told us to change it or else they wouldn't release it or something. Like I don't know, it was like controversial somehow. So that's why I was like like honestly I was so bummed about that. But then this one is right off the top it looks badass because it has that OG 90s death metal look again, which Chris and Jack pretty much founded it, it created it. So it's like it's sick just that they're both going back to their roots, which is like super awesome.
Oh yeah, dude, and like it's apparent in the music too. Like it was way
Yeah.
more thrashy, and then like when you guys decide to tour on this record, like you guys are going out with Nile, I think too, aren't you? Aren't they?
Yeah. It's gonna
So
be Nile and Psycroptic too, which is it's fucking awesome. I mean, I'm a big fan of both those bands myself, so like that's why I was like, oh my god, like we're doing something. At least in the U.S. too. We haven't toured the U.S. since 2013, so yeah, actually we never played a single show in America, since then. So it's crazy, man. That's why I'm definitely excited. I mean, people can say, it's kind of like people can say whatever online and stuff, but I know for sure the shows are going to be fucking packed. So
oh,
it's
dude,
going to be sick.
all three of you guys, Nile and Psychroptic, are all headline worthy bands. I mean,
Right.
I'm a huge Nile fan, huge Psychroptic fan, and of course 6 Feet Under too, dude. And that was like a part of my musical journey.
Right.
Was listening to that band. And that being said, dude, like you played with everybody, dude. Your resume is freaking literally this. I mean, this long. But
Yeah,
is there
right.
any pressure to like, to keep things like how it was in the beginning, or are you allowed some creative freedom, man?
Oh, right. So no, yeah. So you mean just with like the 6 feet writing style, right? Like, I mean, it's kind of like I know in general, Chris definitely likes, Chris is a big fan of like basically what Jack comes up with right off the bat. And then I know Jack, to me, he'll want me to basically spice it up a little bit, but it's kind of like I'm like I feel like I'm the type of drummer, or musician who definitely tries to like, you know, I just like it's like I try to keep a certain vibe, I guess. It's like, like with 6 Feet Under, I'm not gonna be just like gravity blasting the whole time or something like I did in Brain Drill. You know what I mean? It's kind of like I just try to like follow the music. You know what I mean? I try to like complement the guitars basically as best as I can. And so that's why for 6 Feet Under, it's kind of like I don't know. I definitely try to spice it up a little bit but it's like, yeah, like I said, I'm not going to be just like playing 300 BPM blast beats for 3 minutes. I mean,
Right.
it's actually kind of funny. What was I don't know if we released it, but you know how we had like the cover song on this new album, we had a cover song, Hair of the Dog or whatever, and there's actually two versions of it. Well, the version that everyone knows is the one that's on the album, but Chris was actually even like, "Hey, dude," he was like, "Record the drums to it, but like, just do whatever the fuck." He's like, "Do whatever the fuck you want, like, go off on it." And I totally did. And I mean, I remember I even told him, I was like, "Bro, you should put that as like, I don't know what, like a bonus track on a limited edition thing or something." And I don't know. I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll hear it someday. But let me just say, yeah, on that one, I was like, I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do like, gravity blasts and shit over this song. And so, I mean, it's kind of funny because it is interesting. It's like, as a drummer, someone like me, other technical drummers and stuff. It's like there's so many different variations of beats you can do to one single riff, and it completely changes like the dynamic and the feel of the song. So it's like that's why honestly I love playing 6 Feet Under songs, like the original songs and stuff, because it's like it makes me think differently than how I normally think, because I usually try to put in as many notes as possible, and then playing 6 feet has made me realize it's like shit, bro. It's actually like heavier when you're you're just like more laid back. It's like just more simple basically.
And there's something to be said for simplicity, making like good ideas don't have to be like super complicated. Simplicity goes a long way, and like stompy beats and this and that. And I think as a musician too, like anything we can do to like think outside of our norm is gonna be cool. Out of all the bands that you played with, dude, what band did you find the most challenging? And that doesn't have to be like technically wise, but what one really pushed the envelope for you or made you come out of your normal box a little bit?
Oh man, let me think about that. So I mean, that's tough. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like 6 Feet Under has been really helpful for me as a musician and a drummer in general, just because as I was saying earlier, it's kind of like it made me think a little bit differently instead of exactly like trying to push the envelope always, having more of a laid back feel. It also helped me, it actually helped me hit the drums harder as well. So that's like a plus. I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm starting to at least hit the drums a lot harder than I used to anyways too, which is funny. But aside from that sort of thing, I think like, that the project Anomalous that I was in, years ago, I think was probably one of the craziest, drumming, recordings I've ever done. So I would definitely say Anomalous in terms of just, pushing the envelope and technicality, but then 6 Feet Under as the craft itself.
And all the projects that you've done, Anomalous was the one that really challenged you the most. And I remember, dude, seeing a video when you were 19 drumming for Vital Remains. What was that like, dude?
Yeah, man. Well, I know, man. That was honestly some crazy times, I must say. It was fucking awesome, first of all, and then second of all, it's interesting. I saw Vital Remains live when I was like when I was in high school still. I think I was a senior. I'm not sure though, either a junior or a senior. I remember seeing Vital Remains, I think it was in Santa Ana, California, and I went with my friend Bobby because he was like, I don't know, he was like 20 or something, and we played in a band together, me and Bobby, and so we went and saw, we went to see Vital Remains, and it's kind of interesting actually. I mean, it's like hella cocky thing to say, but I remember when I was watching them, I was a little disappointed that it didn't sound exactly like the album, and in terms of speed, like the tempo, it was Tim Young drumming, and Tim's a fucking awesome drummer, fucking incredible. But I just remember, like, 17-year-old me, I was like, I was like in the back, arms crossed. I was like, bro, this dude's not hitting it the same way. So, but I mean, that didn't really bother me, to be honest. I remember I was buying all their merch and everything. Here we go. But yeah, here we go. Like the camera froze. Anyways, I'm just gonna keep talking though. It's fine.
Go for it, bro.
Yeah, there it goes. So, anyways, yeah, no, I mean, I remember buying like all their merch and everything, so it was great. Anyways, that dude, technical difficulties here.
It's just like playing the show.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. I'm dead. But yeah, exactly. But yeah, anyways, I'm just remember seeing them play, being stoked as hell. Anyways, it was awesome. But 17-year-old me, all cocky, and I was like, man, come on, the dude's not playing as fast as the album. It was still fucking solid. Just it didn't have that same shock value, I guess, of speed. And then pretty much after senior year of high school, my band Vornagar recorded. We made like that we posted that video Hyperion and Tony and Dave, I guess, saw it, and then Tony wrote me an email, and that's basically how it all went down. Like basically just Tony randomly emailed me, and I like couldn't believe it. I was like, I was 19, just graduated high school, super exciting stuff, and then I flew out to Rhode Island and jammed with them, one time, and then that's pretty much it. And then I just stayed with Dave, Dave Suzuki I basically lived at his house for like a month, and we practiced every single day until our European tour, which was like 3 months long. So it was like fucking crazy, bro.
Man, that's freaking rad, dude.
Yeah.
Dave Suzuki's an awesome musician, man. He's a great guitar player, great drummer. And I remember the first time I heard Dechristianize, like it was kind of like hearing Brain Drill, dude. It was just like over the top and just like I was just blown away.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm like, yeah, exactly. I mean, that was like me, in high school when I first heard Dechristianize. I was like, holy shit, this is fucking crazy. I mean, honestly, that album was probably the first real album I heard that had like, I guess so-called like Pro Tools, like drumming, editing and stuff. I mean, Dave can obviously play everything, but it was just like, I think they snapped, I don't know what, the bass drum or something. Like, it was like the blast beats were like perfect sounding, and obviously people can play like that, but like on an album to have it like sound so perfect, I feel like that was like the first album to really do that, though, in my opinion. So, and it was definitely life changing. So.
Oh, definitely, dude. And I think that the production on that album was killer. It was clean. It was super tight, like you're saying. They snapped everything to it. The grid, the guitars were perfect. Like, and to keep that up for like 9 minutes is insane.
Yeah, I know, man. Exactly. It's fucking crazy, honestly. Yeah.
So, dude, you're doing the Waking the Cadaver. That's another project of yours. And is that something that you're equally invested in on a level like 6 Feet Under, or is that just something to kind of like to do as a side project?
Oh yeah, no. I'm definitely going full speed with Waking the Cadaver. Honestly, yeah. I mean, I've been a big fan of Waking for actually a long time. I feel like Waking the Cadaver kind of came out of the scene, pretty much kind of like as I was, with like Brain Drill, and then even when I played in the Faceless for a little bit too. It's like we're all kind of from that era, I guess like the MySpace era. And yeah, no, I'm definitely super, I would say I'm definitely super involved with it a lot. I'm pretty much like helping running a lot of the social media aspect of the band and everything too. So it's great. Yeah, I mean, I'm actually really down to play more shows with Waking, and I know that was kind of our whole plan since we recently basically the guitar player Mike Mayo, who was in Waking the Cadaver since 2008, he basically stepped down. He'll always be kind of like involved, I guess, behind the scenes maybe, but he had to step down because he thought he felt like he was holding the band back, just because like kind of like Jeff Fuel, it's like everyone has like day jobs and shit, and he's actually like he works like in a hospital. He's like a doctor and shit. So he couldn't really like tour whenever, and it was really hard to basically take time off for him. So he just felt like he was holding us back. When me and Don, the vocalist, wanted to kind of be more, basically play shows and be kind of relevant again. And yeah, so basically I got Ray Sui, who plays guitar in 6 Feet Under. He just joined Waking the Cadaver as well. And since I already play with him and stuff, it's like it was honestly a perfect match and a good fit. Ray's about all the he's like the same age as all of us too, and he's just like a shredder, bro. Ray can literally play anything. He's like a jazz musician, slash metal, professional metal guitar player. So yeah, he was a perfect fit for the band, and he's working on some new music too, with Waking, and something that's different with Waking compared to 6 Feet is that even though I'm sure if I thought of kind of 6 Feet Under vibe songs, Chris would probably love to hear him, but with Waking, I pretty much plan to like help write a lot of the music too, like even on the guitar myself. mostly just like breakdowns or like grooves, so it's gonna be, it's good. It's nice to be like involved again in a band like that, where basically every member is contributing something musically, because I mean, like I would say a lot of bands nowadays, it's usually like one person writing everything. I mean, obviously there's other, I'm sure there's bands where everyone's like where they're actually in the garage still, jamming, but I feel like there's definitely less of that than just, some, one guy in his bedroom, mapping out everything on the MIDI or something, and then everyone just like follows it, So with Waking, that's why I'm like, I'm definitely, very invested in Waking the Cadaver at the moment. So I'm pretty excited,
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome that you're able to contribute to the writing process, not only like just the drums but playing guitar as well. And that's really cool, man, because I think drummers that do play guitar end up writing really interesting things, like rhythmically and just doing things differently. And like, it's coming full circle on that point, like anything that we can do as musicians to broaden our horizons and think outside the box. And you're absolutely right. Nowadays, it's like one guy does everything, and we all learn the parts and make them our own, of course, and add our inflections. And it's us playing those parts. But I'm sure with drums, like it's probably sometimes a relief to kind of have a clue as to what like people want.
Yeah. I was gonna say exactly. That's kind of why. It's like I mean, it's like me personally. Even I definitely prefer, like when someone's like, "Hey, I want you to play drums on this," I prefer to hear, some sort of programmed drum, or even if they're like, telling me like, "Hey, thrash, do like a thrash beat here and a blast beat here," type of thing. Because I just, because it's like I even I said, earlier on, I was just like, there's so many different type of drum beats you can do to one riff that can completely like change the whole song. So it's just like, yeah, it's like, oh, what do you want to go for, bro? Like, because yeah, usually if I have completely free reign, I'll usually just go really crazy with it. And yeah, that's why playing with 6300 has made me, at least think, oftentimes now think outside the box, of what I normally would do and try to think, I guess, more musically with it. Even though the fast shit is musically, the fast shit is musically to me, but maybe not everyone. But
for sure.
Yeah.
So like you got Waking the Cadaver, you got 6 Feet Under. Are there any other projects that you have? I know you've recorded like something like 150 albums or like 1,500 songs. I remember you made a post about that. Like, what else do you have going on?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So there is a pretty serious side project called well, I call it Sonavinos. It's kind of funny. I guess the guitarist actually told me that it's Sonivinus or something. I was like, bro, it's Sonavinos. Come on, bro. It's like it sounds all Italian. But yeah, the band Sonavinos, we had an album come out, I think it was in 2022. Really crazy shit. I mean, basically it's kind of like, in my opinion, like the new Brain Drill, I guess you could say, because Jeff Huell, is playing bass on that. And as of now, we're just like a recording, like a recording project. But I know the guitarist Ryan wanted to try to play a show someday with it, which would be fucking crazy. I mean, I'm down, but it'd be crazy. I'm like, it'd be crazy. But yeah, basically Ryan and then the other guitarist named Steph. I know they were like kind of involved in that band called Henker, which is like a French. It's basically like the French Origin, like the band Origin, but from France. In the mid 2000s, there they had a really good album come out. But yeah, basically that whole band is just like the whole point of that band. I would say is just being like pretty much as like just nonstop fast. It's like groovy, but it's like fast groovy. I guess almost like Archspire or whatever, but like I would say even crazier though. You know what I mean? It's not like there's like not really any like slamming riffs or something. There's no like breakdowns. It's all just like fucking 300 BPM blast though the whole time. So basically we're out, but basically it's like we're working on a new album. That band is Sonavinos is writing a new album right now, and it's definitely gonna be fucking crazy. I'm actually slacking on recording the drums right now. I should be doing that pretty much any day now, though. But yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know, man. It's kind of like, so in the past, even like, yeah, in the past, it's like I used to record songs. Pretty much like my kids would go to school, and then I would record a song or two, and then I would go to work, and then that was like my whole day. Like, it was just like wake up, take the kids to school, come home, try to record a song, and then go to work, and then I'd be doing that like 5 days a week. And like when I was on a schedule like that, just busting it out, I feel like it was easier. Like nowadays, I don't know. I think I'm just like getting older now, and I'm just like, man, like I don't know. It's kind of like I don't want to record unless I'm like really feeling it. Like I got to be like totally in the zone where I'm just like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do it. And it just like depends, because like even it's like some days I'd rather just play 6 Feet Under stuff, and then some days I'm like, all right, I'm gonna play this, fucking 360 BPM shit. Let's go. So yeah, I mean, it's nice that there's a lot of variety for me to do that, but at the same time, yeah, it's just hard because it's like, I really want to just keep putting out as many, basically recordings as I can, but you get tired.
Oh, I can only imagine. Especially, I would be getting tired too playing that fast or doing that many recordings, and it's tough to record quality music when you don't have to go to work, after you're done and this and that. So I get it, dude. Like you were cranking tunes out and all high quality, of course, and quality's never compromised. But what's interesting is somebody that records all that music and is that active that you need a day off too once in a while.
Yeah, right.
So you also have a presence online playing video games. I know that you game a lot. You play a lot of Apex Legends. You still playing that thing, or have you moved on to anything else?
Yeah. So, I mean, I know actually it's kind of funny. Pretty much basically when the COVID lockdowns hit, that's when I actually got into gaming. And yeah, I mean, my oldest kid was playing Apex, and I was like, damn, that game looks kind of cool. So then I started playing it, and then I pretty much, that's like the only game I play. I used to play Titanfall 2 a lot as well. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a big fan of the shooting games, but like I never, like growing up, I didn't really play video games that much. Like I kind of did when in middle school, but that was like, Nintendo 64, and it wasn't really like online gaming or anything. And then like, pretty much when I was a teenager and then young adult, I mean, I didn't even own an Xbox or anything. I mean, I didn't own any gaming consoles. I didn't buy one until literally like, I don't know what, like 5 years ago now, for my kids, and then some of the games they play look fun, but definitely not much to me. I mean, I would say I'm not really like a gamer, but yeah, freaking Apex Legends is just super fun. So I love that game. I mean, it's super like dorky, and I guess maybe, but but I fucking love it. It's just super fun. I don't know. And yeah, like kind of like what you're saying. I've recently I've been dabbling, in on Twitch, and I kind of, I feel like I should have taken my YouTube channel and then Twitch as well more seriously. So that's basically what I'm trying to do nowadays, is I'm kind of like, all right, I'm gonna just live stream me gaming, come hang out. I'm playing, I'm listening to metal music. I'm basically playing a bunch of stuff that I recorded that is like unreleased or like the demos of things, and just yeah, I'm trying to have like more of a open community of whoever wants to hang out and hear some metal, talk about whatever. I smoke cigars usually too on the stream, so yeah.
Nice, dude. That's awesome, man. Like you're interacting with your fans and just doing normal stuff, playing video games, shooting the breeze. And maybe we can hear that Nazareth cover of Hair of the Dog on one of your streams, dude. I'm sure that Gravity Blast with the cowbell's got to sound pretty cool. I mean, it sounds like you're just hitting it once, so fast.
I know. Actually, oh my god! All right, you guys, this is huge. That cowbell is actually. I mean, I did not play that part. I think that might have been Jason, Zukov or whatever. That might have been him, or that might have literally just be like a click, like a metronome cowbell sound. I forget though. But I remember Jack was like, "Hey, dude," he's like, "Hey man, do you have a cowbell?" And I was like, "No, dude, I don't have a fucking cowbell." So yeah, it was just funny.
That's awesome, man. That's cool. And hopefully we do get to hear that one of these days, dude. And it sounds like you got a bunch of music that's going to be on the horizon released soon. And you got the tour with 6 Feet Under. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, hell yeah. No, I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. I'm hoping, after that one we'll have some more, I know we definitely want to get back to Europe and then, as well as some South American dates. So we'll see. I hope so.
Awesome, dude. And Marco, I really appreciate you taking the time to hang out and tell me what's going on and with 6 Feet Under and all your projects. And what about Sleep Terror? Sleep Terror have anything that's going to be out?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did have an album come out last year. I'm trying to think about Luke. Let me think. I mean, so I know Luke really would like to play shows, and me too. I mean, it'd be awesome. But aside from that, we just haven't. We and him haven't jammed in person in a long time. I mean, it's been many years now, actually. But I appreciate that Luke has Sleep Terror, pretty much consistently going and growing. I know lately I see him. He just learned how to play the piano, and he's like jamming on the piano. So I'm hoping maybe he'll write, some really crazy Sleep Terror album next. With some piano added to it this time, of him. But yeah, I mean, basically at the moment, I would say I'm sure he's working on some songs. I mean, he's definitely, a prodigy as well, just like Ray, Suey, and Jack. It's like, I'm sure Luke could just pull out songs out of thin air, but, I don't know. I know everyone's just kind of doing their thing. And basically it's like everyone's always doing their own thing. And I'm just here, waiting for whoever wants to record something. So, yeah.
Nice, man. Well, you got a awesome skill set, dude. There's not really anything that you're not capable of playing, dude. And I was happy to make an album with you too, and it turned out excellent. And so thanks for that, dude. It sounds killer, and it was received well, so that's awesome, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. Actually, I know. I was gonna say I love those songs, man. The songs you wrote were really, really good, man. So I feel like that project, definitely worked out pretty well. I mean, that those type of songs too, I feel like would sound good live too. It's kind of like the whole like I was saying with Son of Venus. I feel like he wants to play live, but and even like 6 Feet Under, I think part of the reason why 6 Feet Under is so big to begin with, aside from Chris and Jack and stuff, it's like I don't know, the songs have to like when you're playing at a big open air festival. How are they going to sound on a big ass PA? If it's like 300 BPM nonstop, I don't know. It might sound kind of muddy, out in the fucking air. But something a little bit more laid back and whatnot, definitely translates better. It's like some basically it's like some genres translate better, at playing a big show or not. So, but that's what I was saying. I remember the songs you wrote definitely would be fucking killer. Some mosh pits,
Oh, absolutely, dude. Like, it would be cool to see some people throwing down for sure, and it's got kind of like an anthemic vibe, and it's easy to latch on to and all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I remember you sharing a picture of you playing at Brutal Assault.
Oh yes, hell yeah. Yeah. I mean, dude. Yeah. That festival is fucking awesome. That's probably like my favorite festival, to be honest.
Oh yeah, like I was lucky last year. Last year with Possessed, I went there and it was rad, dude. And I was guitar tech for Possessed on that tour as well. Played some of the shows, or played all the shows, but the festivals with them. And man, that was cool. It's just like you said, you look out and it's like in a castle courtyard type fortress thing, and there's just nothing but people. And then there's like the hill with the pyro. It was really cool, man.
Dude, hell yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I hope I get to play there again sometime, and or even if I don't get to play, I definitely want to attend it, one of these years, just because I mean, I feel like that one is to me that's like probably the best festival in Europe. I don't know. There's so many. They have so many really good ones, but like that one's like huge, but not like ridiculous. Like I mean, Hellfest is fucking awesome, but I feel like that's definitely a very large festival. And then Wacken or whatever, Wacken is like fucking massive too. So I don't know. Those are always those fests are fucking awesome over there, man. It's fun stuff.
Absolutely, dude, and they're really cool. And I went to Wacken, and I went to Stonehenge was another smaller one, but still pretty big, and freaking Alcatraz was really cool too, and that one was pretty big, and they're definitely cool. And hopefully one day, like in the U.S., we'll have that kind of a culture with metal. You never know, but like it was cool to see Milwaukee Metal Fest came back. But hopefully one day our metal will be respected on that level here where we live.
Yeah, no, I agree. I even I've actually never been to it, but from what I can tell, I feel like Maryland Death Fest is pretty close. And then even that one like cruise ship thing, I've never been on it, but before I can tell, it seems pretty fucking awesome. And so I know I feel like in general, the scene is definitely pretty large. But yeah, I mean, I would say it's like all those type of fests over in Europe though. Pretty much sure, no one can really beat that.
No, man, like they're like villages is what I thought was crazy. Like at the larger ones, like they have like all sorts of vendors, all sorts of bootleg merch, and it was funny. Like we were walking through, me and Bobby from Possessed, and there were people selling their T-shirts that were obviously like fake, and it was kind of funny to watch how that all went down.
Yeah, actually, I know. I was gonna say that is pretty funny. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I've definitely witnessed some of that too. But yeah, that's I know. I mean, even like you said, it's true. I know. Like the Wacken and or whatever in general. Yeah, I think it's like. I mean, it's literally like its own city. Like the whole city is just like based on that festival too. Like it's super crazy. It's pretty awesome, but it's like definitely crazy. When you think about it. It's fucking rad.
Dude, I don't know how people can spend like multiple days there. I mean, it would be rad, but like you say, like it's kind of overwhelming, dude. And like after a while, like it's super muddy or super rainy and stuff. So kudos and more power to everybody that's out there freaking able to soldier through all that kind of stuff. It's intense.
Yeah, right. I agree with you, man. I agree. I know how I like having a bed and some Wi-Fi and shit. So yeah.
Dude, just being able to lay down and sleep when you're touring is nice.
I know exactly. Yeah, that's and see for I was gonna say that's a plus thing. That's a big plus for 6 Feet Under because I know Chris, he won't like tour unless we're basically laying down in a bed. So it's nice. It's definitely nice. Yeah, like for me, I mean, roughing it in the van, those times were fun, but yeah, like as you get older, it's like it doesn't sound as appealing as it used to sound. And then even just like sleeping, at random people's houses or something or apartments, isn't really as appealing as it used to be. I mean, it's kind of funny. Like I remember touring with the Faceless. We were all like 20 years old and just being on tour, in the van, staying at fans' houses and shit. I mean, it's like literally like it's like you're on tour like like a touring like fraternity or something, like I don't know. It was just like so fucking crazy, man. It's definitely I mean like those it's like that shit's definitely fun. And I recommend people doing that still if they can, definitely if you're like younger. When you're older you can still do it too. It's fun, but it's not as you kind of like we're saying, you just want to lay down in a nice bed and take a shower when you can and stuff.
Yeah, dude. And get your Planet Fitness black card so that way you can
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, yeah, exactly. I forgot. See, I'm like, man, I forgot about that. But that is a good tour, hack or advice, I guess, for sure. That definitely is a good one. Yep.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, Marco, thank you for joining me, dude. Is there anything you'd like to say before we wrap things up?
Hey man, well, no, yeah, thanks for having me, man. I'm glad to be a part of it. It's kind of a bummer. Both we had technical difficulties here, but all good. You know, shit happens. Really, I just want to say, I'm planning to live stream. Basically, I'm planning to live stream a lot of drumming pretty soon. So, if anybody wants to, talk to me, all good. Check out my live streams on my YouTube channel and then on my Twitch channel. And yeah, we could connect that way. But yeah, I basically want to have super interactive live streams, especially with drumming nowadays. I'm gonna try to go off in that sort of venture as well. So I'm excited for it. And yeah, anybody who's a fan of mine, that'd be sick. If they stop by. That's about it.
Right on, dude. I'll make sure that we put links to your YouTube channel and your Twitch in the description of the video, dude, and tag as many of the bands that you've been in so that everybody can hear your music. I mean, you got a shitload of it. But anyway, Marco, thank you for joining me, dude. I'm looking forward to seeing 6 Feet Under out on the road. Your guys' album's great, dude. And as always, it's always nice talking to you, man.
Hell yeah, man. Likewise, man. It's great talking to you too, man.
All right, dude. Take care of yourself.
All right, man. You too, man. You too. Thank you.
Later.